Hey guys, so I came across this game by accident, Besiege. It's in its alpha state. It's alpha version 0.02 that just came out, which added some new blocks. And so basically you just build siege machines out of little blocks, powered bits that you can control. With weapons, you can build flying machines, and you have armor plating. Now, I'm sure this will be just like KSP, Kerbal Space Program, where it started out just kind of fun and unique, and eventually it grew into an absolutely amazing game. I think that's what this game is going to become, because it's really quite fun. And then eventually, I'm sure in the future they'll just add on so much stuff that'll become great. And it uses very similar controls. You select a block that you want to build with, and it can connect to certain places in whichever way it's going to snap, and you can rotate them and such, and you can flip the direction that wheels spin. And there's all sorts of weapons. There's spike balls, there's big blades, there's a saw that just spins, there's cannons, flamethrowers, a bomb that you can push with a piston into a crowd of people. For making catapults, they've got this big holder, a flaming ball you can put in your catapults. There's a big plow, and you can also, what's kind of cool is you can save and load your machines. So for example, one that I was using to get through some of the levels, it kind of evolved from just a basic machine, a little trike. As you can see, it had a little rotating wheel on the back here, and then just kind of evolved into this war machine that just devastated everything. So this is Sandbox Mode here, where you can just test stuff out. But where the real fun lies, oh, and before I get too far, this key mapper plus perimeter tuning, a lot of people miss this. If you check that mode off and then you select an item, you can tweak it. So wheels, for example, or say the circular saw, I can make it rotate 1.6 times faster than stock. So now when I press play, it's just going, but you can see it's putting a lot of torque on, and you can see how my hinges work. So I can right click on, or I can click on those, and I can change the key press to have, so I can have one piston mapped to one key, for example, for having multiple items on multiple keys. So I could have each cannon mapped to different keys, 1, 2, 3 for each cannon. But wheels, for example, if you click on them, you can change the wheel speed as well as the forwards and reverse speed. So for example, when I play this machine, when I go, it goes forward and backwards fine. It's a little bit front heavy, but the way I steered was just to use a power steering motor in the back attached to this little armor wheel. But as you can see, it really has a hard time turning since it's obviously not circular. But if I put a wheel on there, wheels are powered, so I'll show you what it does. I'll hover over this and press X to delete, and I will add a motor wheel on there. You'll see now that it's now going to spin in whatever direction the motors are, or the wheel is spinning, so that does me absolutely no good at all. However, it occurred to me by using the perimeter tuning key mapper tool, by selecting that wheel and turning the wheel speed down to 0, it now works much more efficiently. It rolls a lot easier. Not much, because these little bits on here get in the way and they're able to destroy people, but it works a bit better. So yeah, steering's the one thing that really isn't that great in this game yet. They really haven't gotten a good steering system down. Some people have created some absolutely amazing contraptions. I was looking on YouTube, but like I said, I'm sure in the future, once they expand it, it'll be an absolutely amazing game. Anyways, let's look at some death and destruction. This is one of the most gory games for no reason at all that I've seen. I love the art style. So at the main menu, there's all these ones under construction, so obviously there's going to be lots of levels. For now, there's only 15, but it's impossible to get through them all. I got stuck at about level 6. Then you have Sandbox Mode. We have this moon, which we don't know what it is, and there's all these different islands, but the only one available to us in the alpha is Ypsilon, which, like I said, has these 15 different levels, and I got stuck at, 6. Or I haven't attempted it yet anyways. So basically, you start off very, very basic. It just wants you to destroy this cottage. So when I first did this, I just put a plow on the front and I just ran into it, and that worked just fine because it's very easy to destroy. And you can see when you run into living things. Let's see here. They just explode horribly. But let's go to a level with a lot of people on it. This one? Nope. Although the sheep are fun to kill too, because their body parts will come flying back down. Perimeter wall. That's a pretty basic one. So it's just a wall with some archers, and they can now shoot at you once you get into later levels. So you have to put armor on it, otherwise you'll eventually get destroyed. And if you get lit on fire, your entire machine will slowly burn. So I don't know if I can take down this wall with just my basic machine here. I had to push a bomb with a piston to get through this level originally. So yeah, it's not gonna do me much good. Let's go to the one that he was just on, the Queen's Fodder. Just tons and tons and tons of people. So I'm gonna shoot my cannons off. Can I place a bomb on the front here still, or is it gonna get in the way? Let's see. I want a bomb. No, I can't put it in the front. It intersects with the circular saw, which is much more effective, in my opinion. Anyways, make sure this thing's spinning as fast as possible. Yep. I don't know a lot else that you can tweak. Nothing else, really. Just the wheels and... Oh, I forgot I had a decoupler on there too. That's why that thing is breaking off. So yeah, there's things like decouplers. You can see if I press J, it breaks off. So you can lay like traps with bombs and stuff attached to it. You can decouple it. So anyways, let's try to take out these guards. So I'll fire the cannons and I'll start running into them and pistoning them, I guess you could call them, spiking them. And they can kill their own players with their arrows, so you can get some free kills. And it shows you how they were killed to your blunt trauma. And if they're on fire, it will show you that. Your machine is susceptible to damage for sure, though. It will break. You can see there that explosive piece just got broken off. It took too much force. So all I'm left with now are my spikes. Now, when you're building your machines, it's just so gory, and you can just keep hitting dead bodies and just more and more blood, and they come down. Sometimes when you explode them, like I said, their body parts will go flying up in the air, and then all of a sudden it'll just come and splat out of nowhere. Anyways, when you're building your machines, some things to be aware of is struts. Just like in KSP, this is built very, very similar to KSP. struts, or braces I guess they call them, are one of the most useful things. You just click and drag to where you want them, and this will make your machine a lot stronger than stock. Because otherwise this wood stuff just wobbly. You see if I delete this machine and just build a little quick little wooden box essentially. Also, the camera controls aren't perfect. They take some getting used to, and even then they're not perfect. And then if we maybe put some... let's put a steering hinge on the front. Sometimes that can be easier to steer with depending on your vehicle. I just wish there was perfectly round wheels. These ones are great for killing people, but not so great for movement. You'll see... Oh, and by the way, you always want to set your machine on ground, because the translate button that allows you to move it up and down, and left and right and forward and back, obviously. And you can also rotate it. Say if you wanted to aim it or something right off the start. I'll reset that though. But you'll see if I let it drop from up high, this box here, by the way, is the bounding box. You have to build your machines within this limit and start them within it. You see, I can't go outside of it. If I drop it from this height, this wood stuff just breaks. Wow. Okay, maybe it didn't break then, but it's very weak. Let's see here. Just get rid of some junk. You can see how weak it is. It gets destroyed pretty easy. So yeah, if you add braces, then it just, everything becomes so much stronger. It's stronger than wood itself, so I try to use them in place of wooden beams wherever I can. And you'll see that just doesn't even affect it at all. Now it's basically invincible until the wood finally does break. And yeah, there's all sorts of neat things. There's you have your basics, just wooden blocks, wheels, a steering hinge. So a steering hinge, you press for or left and right and it steers. So you can aim things or you can steer with it. Like I said, that's why it's nice that you can map the keys to whatever you want. So the possibilities are just endless, of course, like any sandbox game. Then you have these ones. You have wooden panel, which is just some basic little protection or for looks. You have a hinge, so for making catapults and trebuchets and stuff, that allows stuff to rotate. And I can't, something like that. You'll see how it rotates, so obviously, and then you can attach stuff from there, so you can see how you could make just absolutely complex machines out of that. You have a swivel joint, which obviously just swivels. It'll always spin, so again, you can make really interesting machines. Then you have powered ones, so powered wheel, powered steering hinge, a steering little gear thing, a decoupler, you have a spring, so this allows you to create like a catapult rope basically. Suspension, so that's just like a giant spring. They're kind of neat. The physics are great. I'm not sure what this game is made of. I assume Unity, but it doesn't have the feel of Unity, but it has the looks. Anyways, You have a piston, as you saw that in my machine. You have a spinning block. I haven't really tested that out. And a grabber, it grabs anything, and then you press V to drop it. So there's a mining missions where you have to grab ore and stuff. Then you have your weapons. You have a spike ball, which anything it touches just gets decimated. You have metal blade. You have the circular saw you saw in my machine. The metal spike you saw in my machine. The cannon you saw. Flamethrower I actually haven't used a lot yet. When you press Y, it shoots flames out. I guess that was not a good direction, but... And then people light on fire. You see, full body burns. The objective in this level is to kill 90% of the populace. But if they come back towards your machine and light the wood on fire, then your machine will burn. There's a bomb. So that's where I use it with a piston, and then I push it towards people. Like if I set this on the ground, and then I put a... Where's the piston? Underpowered. If I put a piston down there, is that going to go in the right direction? Yep. And then attach a bomb to that. No, I can't attach a bomb there, I don't think. I don't know what it's intersecting with, but... Darn. But, yeah, you can see what bombs do. They do some pretty serious damage. Fullborns. Blunt force trauma. Heck, I might win this level just by explosions. Just the archers survived. And then a holder is again for cannons. The flaming ball, we went through those. But flight's kind of cool. There's these flying blocks that you can put on it. Basically, it has to be even. And you can turn on the center of mass. Where the heck is that now? Machine info center of mass, and I'll show you where the center of mass is so that you can even out your flight controls. And then you just press O to fly, and well, I guess because of the bomb, let's get rid of that. You can, this obviously isn't generating enough lift, but you can fly. You can see the springs, you can see the springs extending. So you can create some really interesting flying machines. You can create like bombers that drop bombs by using the where is it? It's decoupler. You can have a big huge bomber that you can basically drop as many bombs as you want. You can bind, you know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 to 10 different bombs, and decoupler to numpad 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, and you can have a bunch of bombs. So I've seen people do that. And then yeah, there's a propeller, wings, wing panel. I haven't really played with flying machines too much. Ballast, and then you just have armor plating. So yeah, pretty cool game. Definitely check it out. It's really fun to play with. It's definitely worth a few hours of your time at least. And I'm sure once it gets into beta and more final versions, it'll be really cool. And going through the levels is actually fun because you have to design a different, you don't have to design a different machine for each level, but each level requires something different. Like the one I'm on, my death machine that I eventually needed, it really wouldn't do much good. Let me just load it up here. Wouldn't do much good because I need a grabber to get these ore balls, and I need to put them in the little spot there. So I'd need to put a grabber on front and maybe get rid of some weight. These cannons and the armor plating is all heavy, and the spike balls sometimes tear the wheels off. So I'd probably, you know, get rid of that, and the cannons, the armor plating, the circular saw. You know, don't need the spikes, don't need the pistons. It's a nice lightweight machine. And then, you know, throw a grabber on the front. Where the heck are you? There. Let's go steal some more. And then J to let go, although it doesn't seem to want to let go. I think it was J, wasn't it? Apparently it doesn't want to let go, so you need to come up with some pretty interesting designs. Oh, V to drop object. So this one's no problem. We get this ball no problem in this level, for example. Let's see if I can rotate this around here. Like I said, yeah, the steering in this game is not the best. Drop that, but then the problem is, how do I get up there to get that one? So you really have to think creatively when it gets to these later levels. There's, you know, no way to get up there unless you created some sort of mechanism using springs or hinges, you know. I would probably make a second mechanism with a hinge that had a spring, so that I could basically send it flying to stick on there, pull it off, and then drive it over there. So you got to think outside the box. It's pretty cool. So anyways, thanks for watching another video from the team here at Gotta Play It All, a division of BlenderTech.com. If you enjoyed it or learned something from it, consider liking the video and consider subscribing for more tips, tricks, tactics, mods, let's play, and indie games and indie game development in general. Lastly, don't forget our motto: play your way.